Hi and welcome to multiplication timetable developed using Python. Now let me show you guys how this works. Supposing I want to exit, click on exit. No, I don't want to exit. There we go. All the content in there is gone. Enter whatever value. Click on multiplication timetable. We want to check out 12. There we go. 10. The same thing. And you can always exit, as you guys can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit out and let's start a new project. Exit. There we go. Now let's start by entering from Tkinter import. Let's import it all. Then the next thing is I'm going to import Tkinter message box. Paste that in there, so that's going to be tkinter.message. Copy, paste, drop it right down here. Dot message box. There. That's the message box library. Then the next thing I want to do now is I'm going to define my multiplication timetable as root equals tk, enter parentheses. Right, now that is done, let me enter a variable. I'm going to call that blank, or okay, let's just say blank space. Blank space equals nothing. Enter a space there and just enter nothing there. Now the next thing is I'm going to call root dot title, and the space, I'm going to add the space in there. So the space is going to be 30 multiplied by blank space, just to give me a space for my title. So the whole idea is to get the title dead center. Okay, so I'm going to say this very space, which is right here, multiply that by 30 and plus whatever my title is going to be. The title, not right here, it's meant to be here underneath there. So it's going to be multiplication timetable table. There we go. Now I'm going to close that up and just define my geometry. So that's going to also be root dot geometry, and that is going to be, I'm going to make that approximately 374 multiplied by 700, and let's say plus 400 plus 0. So all I'm just trying to do is to get it centered here. Okay, enter. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, let's just change this to 373. Okay, that will be fine. Now I'm going to change this to 642 and this one 440. That's fine. So let's leave it like that for now. Get rid of this. Now let's come right down here. The next thing is I'm going to call my icon, so that's going to be icon bitmap, and my icon is, as it's cap dot icon. I already have that on my folder right here. That's it, it can recognize it. Okay, that's it right there, and just close that there. So if you're wondering where my icon is, that is it right here inside where I intend to save my project there. So the next thing I want to do now is I'm going to declare a variable. I'm going to call that text underscore input, and that is going to be string variable there. Now let's say background frame, so I'm going to just call that bg frame equals frame, and this bg frame is going to be right inside root, and there's going to be a border equals, let's make that about 14, and this very border, okay, let's change the background of it. I'm going to change that to about, okay, let's just call it cadet blue. So that will be cadet blue. That is the color I intend to use. Close that, and I'm going to round up this very frame that I created there, so you can just come right down here, copy that, or here we can even say dot grade equals there. So that's my very first frame. The second frame, I'm going to call that main frame. The main frame is going to be right inside this very frame, so grab the main frame and just right here, I'm going to grab this and paste this in here, and main frame is going to be right here, there. Now let's change the border of this main frame. I'm going to make that 7. What about the background color for this main frame? I'm going to get rid of that, or we can just change that to relief. That will be equals rigid. There we go. Now grab all of this, and I need this one to be rigid as well. There. Okay, what I'm going to do before going any further, let me just come right down here and say root.main, and we'll say loop. There we go. So let me just save this before we go any further. So let's enter that in here. So I'm going to call it timetable. Just enter no space in there. Timetable. So that is the name in uppercase. Right. And just click on save. So if I run it now, this is what you guys will see. The frame will be just plain, there's nothing there. Okay, but I do have frame in here. If you like, we can just copy this, paste it here, let's see, so that we can see the frame that I've just created. The choice is yours, you can do it this way. So let's run it, you see the frames now. And there we go, that's the frame there, there's nothing in there, so we can see it all. And because I did not define any size for it, as you can see, we did not see the frame, we just see a tiny little square there. Let me show it to you guys again. That is it. But if we want to see the frame, the choice is yours. You can just enter that equals, let's make this, since we have 373 there, we can make this 370, comma, and height. So we can just say the height is, I'm going to settle for about 600 plus here. Let's go for 640, comma, and let's run it. If you run it now, you guys should be able to see the frame itself. There we go, that's the frame, and this one seems to be too wide. So let's change it to about, this is 6 there. Save, run, press F5. There. Okay, that's not too bad. Now let me add some widget onto the system first. Okay, right underneath here, I'm just going to enter a label. So I'm going to call that, let's just say title label. And for my title label is going to be label widget, and this very label widget is going to be right inside main frame. Copy paste. And what else do we want to need? So I'm just going to enter a title for it, and that title is going to be multiplication timetable, comma. Just press enter. and I'm going to enter a font for it. Now the font is going to be Arial, comma, let's make that about 20, comma, and I'm going to make it bold. There we go. And let's close that dot grid. Let's say it's going to be on row 0 equals 0, and the column is going to be 0 as well, equals 0, and close that. Let's run it. And there we go. Alright, close that. Close again. And right underneath here, I'm going to enter an entering widget. There we go. That's my entering widget there. So let's run that and see how that's going to look like. There, that's the entering widget. Close that. Have a good look at the entering widget. So let's copy all of this, and I'm going to change it around. This one is going to be text widget. Paste, and let's change this widget to text. Right. So for the text widget, I'm going to change this one to display, and this will be on column 2, no, row 2, column 0. Okay, for the font, let's make it about 10, else that will be too large. There won't be any text there, so get rid of this. There. And let's see, that is fine. And let's get rid of this. We don't need a center. And I'm now going to assign width and height. So copy all of this. I'm just going to paste that right here. Paste. Let's change the height to maybe 23, and the width I'm going to make that about, let's go for 30. Right. That is it for the text widget, but let's try it out. Click on run. There we go. So I have entering widget, and let's add 2 buttons here. Okay, right underneath here, let's come right down here and just add the buttons. So the first button, I'm going to call that BTN exit, or timetable. Yeah, that's timetable. BTN timetable. That's for my very first button. And for the BTN timetable, that's going to be button, the widget. This button. Okay, this very button is inside main, and I'm going to need a font as well, so I can just copy. Let's copy all of this and grab this as well. I would need the width, so I can copy the width as well. Okay, leave that out. Copy, come right down here and paste. There. Now, what else do we need? Alright, let's get it padded, and I'm going to change this to, first of all, change that to about 2, and horizontal padding 2, vertical padding, I'm going to make that 2 as well, and the font is, I think this might be a little bit too small. I'm going to make the font 20, and I then need a text. I need comma, text equals, just call that multiplication, and paste that there, enter a quote. Right. Okay, let me just press enter here so that we have enough room. Let's grab the width. Where is it? Right here. I'm going to grab the width and paste it right underneath here. And this very width, let's make the size of that about 16. here. Okay, you can even round it up. The dot grid equals number 3. Okay, this is 2, so that will be 3. So copy this, paste it right here. There we go, and this will be 3. I might as well just copy all of these. Copy, come right down here, and that will be for exit. Just change this to exit, and this will be, this is 2, and this will be 3, and this is 4. Okay, let's change the text content here to exit. There we go, and let's run it now. Save, run. There, all my buttons are in place. Okay, now let's write a function that we will use for our calculation, for the times table itself, and exit. Right, for the exit, that is easy. You guys must have seen that on several occasions on my programs. So let me write my function right underneath the frames here. So let's start with the exit first. I'll just call that I exit, enter parentheses. Right. Okay. So for the exit, I'm going to enter as follows. So let's say I exit equals Takinta dot, that will be dot message box. There we go. And this message box is going to be dot ask, yes or no. Ask yes or no. There we go. And what is going to be the message? So the message here is going to be multiplication timetable. Copy that, paste it right in here. That is the title, comma, and the message is going to be confirm if you want to exit. Confirm if. There. And let's enter a quote here. There we go. Get rid of this. Alright. So if the answer to that is yes, so we say I exit. If it's greater than 0, then we exit. So we can just say root.destroy. Okay, so that will take care of my exit. Yeah, so I can just call this very one here. So let's come down here, enter a comma. We can say command equals I exit. There we go. So that's the function exit. If I run it now, this is what you see. So let's see. Click. There we go. No, I don't want to exit. Yes, I do want to exit. Now look at my logo right there, and I also have my logo right there. So exit there. But one other thing is, I'll like the exit. If you say no, I would like you to clear the system for me. So in that case, I'm just going to call display. Let's come right down here and just say else. Yeah, else display equals dot, sort of equals dot delete, and clear every single content, whatever we have in there, up to the end. And I also want to clear this or reset this very one as well. So I'm just going to grab this, grab that, and paste that underneath here. I'm going to be using that as my variable for the text box. Okay, close that. Now let's come right here. You see this very text box? It's already have this as the variable. Okay, so I just clear it in here now. Alright, the next thing we want to do is to create or to put together the function for the multiplication itself. So come right down here. So let's just call that timetable. There. And this very timetable, that is going to be so that we can get it cleared. I'm going to grab all of these here. Let's grab everything we have in here. First of all, clear whatever content we have inside those widgets. Once that is done, once we clear whatever we have inside the text, inside this text, I then want, let's enter a local variable m. M is going to be whatever we enter should be in the form of integer, and that is supposed to be from here. So I'm going to grab this, let's grab it, paste it here, and change this to get. Okay, change, close that, and let's close it because this we open a bracket there. Close that. Alright, so once you click on the command button, it will first of all close whatever we have in there, just clear it, and whatever content we have in the entry widget is added in here and then cleared. Then we use a for loop to generate 1 to 12 x. For x in the range of 1, 13, which is between 1 and 13, and that will be 12. We now want display this very one, paste it right in here, display dot insert, and what are we inserting up to the end, comma, x, comma, then I need a tab, and that very tab, yeah, that's tab, comma, display multiplication sign, and let's just enter another speech mark there. I'll get rid of this one. That should be 1. Okay, 1, 2. Then we have a comma here, comma, and I also need another. Yeah, I need another tab. Grab this, paste it right here. Okay, comma, and now need my function, which is m, comma, I need a tab, paste the tab, comma, equals, close that, comma, another tab, comma, open up a bracket, and let's multiply. There's the bracket. We then multiply x, multiply by m. There we go. That's it. All done. Get rid of this part. Okay. Now we now want you to insert. Let's say insert it up to the end. Copy. Come right down here. Paste. And all we just need to then do is, once the first value is entered, we want it to carriage return straight to the next line. Close that. There we go, and that's it. So I'm now going to come right down here and call this very function. So let's come right down to this very button here, comma, command equals timetable. There. Okay, let's try it out now. So I'm just going to click on run, and let's see what's going to happen. Enter a value there. Whoa, we have an error. Okay, let's come right down here. I think I know what happened. Alright, I was meant to run this up. Copy here and just run this up. Okay, that's for the text widgets. Well rendered, so that's it. Alright, now let's run it. Run it again. So have a good look at the functions, exit, and if I just look at everything before I run it and take it down. So let's click on run. There we go. Enter a value right here, so I'm going to enter, let's say 34. There we go. Let's enter 12. There we enter 4, 8, 9, 10. There. And that's how you create your own multiplication timetable in Python. I suppose you guys enjoyed, and you, my man over there, your question has been answered. Okay, that's it. That's what to do. There. So with that, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial, and please do subscribe to my channel, and you can always also join to become a member of the channel. There are a lot of benefits if you are a member. So I'm going to say bye for now. Have a nice one.